Why do I feel like my boyfriend, who I've been dating for 2 years, prefers to spend time on his phone rather than with me? To provide some context, my house is within walking distance of his, so despite our busy schedules, we still manage to see each other almost every day. Our routine has been fairly consistent for more than a year. After work, my boyfriend comes over to my house, where he usually spends at least 2 to 3 hours before heading back to his home. However, there's a recurring problem that has been bothering me. Whenever he visits me, he's always glued to his phone. I'd estimate that about 80% of the time, he's scrolling through TikTok or Facebook. I voiced my frustration about this numerous times, questioning why he even bothers to visit if he's just going to use his phone anyway. To me, it feels like his phone takes precedence over our quality time together. However, he doesn't seem to understand my perspective. He believes that as long as he's physically beside me, it counts as quality time, even if he's engrossed in his phone. He's even asked me why I insist on having a conversation when he feels he has nothing specific to say. Just a few days ago, we stayed in an Airbnb for 4 days for our anniversary celebration. We prepared for this moment and we even saved a lot of money for this. We even booked this Airbnb 3 months prior to our anniversary. That's how much we prepared for this. In the first 2 days, I noticed he was constantly on his phone, but I didn't want to spoil our time in this beautiful place by confronting him. However, during dinner at a lovely Japanese-themed buffet restaurant, he was completely silent, just scrolling on his phone, and I couldn't ignore it any longer. I tried to calmly address the issue, but my frustration got the better of me, leading to a heated argument. Although the day ended on a somewhat positive note, little did I know that the worst was yet to come. With 2 more days left in our vacation and our anniversary approaching, we managed to have a pleasant celebration, even dining at a fancy restaurant and taking photos to remember the special occasion. But upon returning to our condo, he immediately resumed scrolling through his phone. I suggested continuing the movie we had started earlier, but he said he needed to rest and we could watch later. So, I got ready for bed, waiting for him to finish. After over 2 hours, he turned off his phone, came to bed, and said he was tired and wanted to sleep. I felt frustrated, having waited so long. I wondered if I was being clingy, but he could have communicated his need for alone time. In the end, our special day didn't end well. On the following day, which happened to be our last day of the vacation, neither of us made an effort to reconcile. Tensions escalated into a heated argument, with both of us pointing fingers at each other. As we prepared to leave, I overheard him saying how badly he wanted to go home the last night but he just couldn't because of me. I was deeply hurt by what I heard, so I told him to go ahead, and that I didn't need him. He reacted angrily, dropping my belongings and shouting, "Then go ahead, go home by yourself." He walked away, leaving me to board the bus alone, crying. While there's a lot more to say about that day, this essentially sums up what happened, all because of his constant phone use. I'm at a loss about what to do now. I still love him and I know he still loves me too, but we both know that this is the biggest fight we've ever had and it has surely taken a toll on our relationship. Comment. If you've tried initiating a conversation with him and he still stays on his phone, maybe replying with 1 or a few words. He isn't interested at all. Does he consider the phone a problem? Sounds like an addiction. If he doesn't, then no amount of love solves the problem. You are choosing someone, that is choosing their phone. Getting upset about him being predictable, is you avoiding the solution. Choose someone that wants the same things. Next story 2. I have no idea how to or if I should leave my husband and need advice. How do I decide whether I want to divorce or stay? My husband and I have been married for a little over a year. We've been together for 7 years. He was my first ever relationship, first kiss, first everything. We've had many problems in our relationship before we got married but still decided to go through with the wedding. I was holding off on getting married mainly to see if our relationship would improve. Well, it did at the time, and not long after tying the knot, we're back to our ways. We are in a fight at least once a week. I've tried to explain to him how important communication is, but he's really not that good at verbalizing his emotions or problems. We do love each other very much, but we just cannot reach that point that makes a healthy marriage. Whenever I'm upset, he gets mad because I'm upset rather than checking in with me. He stonewalls me and it can go on for over 2 weeks at a time. He won't say a single word in that time and will not include me in anything, for example food, coffee, videos he's watching on his phone, etc. This usually takes a really bad toll on my mood and self-esteem. Whenever he does speak, he gets very angry and twists everything I say to turn it into a fight. I feel invisible, insecure, and completely unloved. Whenever I state that I want to end the marriage, he becomes the man of my dreams and starts to do everything I've always asked of him. But he doesn't actually improve until I prove to him in some way that I am insistent on leaving. We've gone to court and filed a simplified divorce 5 months ago, and dismissed it when the court date came. I filed again 2 months ago after his long stonewalling episode, and our appointment is coming up soon, but we have amended things and have decided to also dismiss this divorce. I realize how unhealthy and toxic this all sounds, but please try to understand where I'm coming from. Deep down, we're both very afraid to leave each other. I think this stems from the fact that I am all he knows and vice versa. He rarely tries to lift me up when I'm feeling down. As a result, I've become jealous of other women and the way their husbands/boyfriends treat them. I began to feel unattractive and that no man would want me other than him, even though people deem me very attractive, and I get really scared of regretting my decision to leave. I feel like that would just kill me. He has also recently made comments about his friends getting married to younger women in their early 20s and how they're lucky to make me feel like I'm getting old. I'm also really scared of leaving him just to get in a relationship with someone and realize that my husband was way better. I usually have trouble making decisions in all areas of life. Also, we do not have any children. Comment. Go through with the divorce. I can guarantee you that you will find someone better than your husband. It shouldn't take the looming threat of a divorce to get your husband to take you seriously and change. If that's what it takes, then your relationship is always going to be like this. It will never get better because he will never change. If you don't get out of this toxic marriage, you will grow to become a person you don't recognize. Figure out a way to move out. A trial separation for 6 months. Get yourself situated, file for a simplified divorce without all of the conversation. Go no contact. See how your life changes. Will you miss him? At first, maybe. But then you can meet new people, make friends, and build a life that isn't defined by his manipulation and emotional abuse. I've been there. It gets better. Plus, I hear it's really hot to be divorced before you're 30. I was too. Next story 3. Why sister threatened to cut contact with me because I questioned her, and now I'm questioning if I should cut contact with her. I got a call from my sister the other day. She was driving and wanted to talk while she was driving. I had asked her before many times why she only calls me when she's driving, and she just says that her car rides take a while and she has nothing better to do. During this call though, she ends up hitting another car in front of her. She was unharmed but continued to talk to me. I ended the call because I felt like you shouldn't be on the phone when in a situation like this because you need to talk to the other driver your car hit. She calls me later to tell me that she wants me to be a witness for insurance reasons. I think. I'm not exactly sure how that would work though. I even ask her how I would even be a witness since she was the one calling me when she hit the other car and I wasn't present there physically, and that I ended the call when the crash happened. I even questioned that wouldn't her calling me while driving count as distracted driving on her part? She goes off on me for this and brought up every little thing against me. She was saying how could I not want to side with her. She threatened to never help me again. She even randomly brought up the fact that I'm trans and said that she hates what I'm doing and doesn't agree with it. She even said she was ready to cut me out of her life because I'm worth nothing. I said that I'm sorry, but she ended the call before I could finish my sentence. This made me question if I should go no contact with her. She's a 2-hour drive away from Maine and lives on her own with her fiancé, so she doesn't really see me that often anyways. She's also very transphobic and tells me she does not like what I'm doing and will refer to me with female pronouns when talking about me to someone else. She also did strange things to me when I came out as a man in the 6th grade, like watching me bathe, grabbing my chest and forcefully shaving my privates. I really don't know if I want to do this though. I mean, we don't get along the best when in person, but we have our fun moments together sometimes. I don't know if it's worth going no contact with her. From what I know now, nothing really important came from her hitting the other car. I saw on her Instagram that she's been going out with friends for drinks and having fun, so I think she's fine. This is very weird but important to me. She hasn't called or texted me since, so I'll just see if she chooses to not talk to me anymore. Has anyone else been in a situation like this? If so, then I'd like to hear what you have to say. Comment. It seems to me you have 2 choices. You can be a witness, which means possibly talking to insurance and confirming that you aren't really a witness, BC you weren't actually there, in which case the insurance will likely give you an out with your sister, or you can stand your ground with your sister, and I'm guessing she will break contact, but at least you gave her a reality check. What? Are you serious? She is an awful, repugnant human being that you need to distance yourself from. Get the hell away from her as soon as possible.